Lunch Money Lambert, Jeff Malott. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Yeah. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation, where we talk about fishing and competition. It's your boy Ox Pippin, aka Ox Fishing. Don't come over here tripping. Hey, hope you enjoy the show. Jeff Malott, Lunch Money Lambert, Lego. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to KBN Live. We had a couple weeks off, little downtime, and we're back. First big tournament in the book.
It was nice. That was a good couple weeks, man.
Yeah, man. We're back. We got a few folks jumping on here late. Looks like we got Facebook and YouTube filling up. Appreciate y'all. Hope y'all had a good first few weeks of the new year. It's been a wild few weeks, to be honest, Ryan.
You sound kind of sick, Jeff. I'm not gonna throw stones here, but
I've got something. I've got the hantavirus or the bird flu or something. I don't know what's going on, but I'll be all right. I'll make it. All
right. We'll keep it on you.
It's been a good week. We fought off communism and won, and also Ohio State won the national championship. So it's a good week.
Oh yeah, that's your team again now, huh?
Well, I will stand on the rock of Fire Ryan Day, but I love Ohio State. Take his national championship and head on to the NFL Ryan Day, or something. But Buckeyes.
That's fair.
Yeah, Buckeyes for life. But anyway, they pulled it off. With a SEC running back and a Big 12 quarterback that transferred in. They got it done. Proud of them.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of loyalty left in the college front there.
Yeah. But yeah, man,
but
big
there
weekend.
Is loyalty left in kayak fishing. And
really?
We have our second place finisher. We got Chris. Chris is loyal.
That's
He's
right.
in there every week. Cashed him a check, got big bass, so we had to pull him in.
That's right. I was really excited when I found out you were able to get him on the show, because Chris is always in the comments, always watching the show, and then my man, big bass, cash top 10 at the Havasu event. So we were glad to have him on and talk to him. And then of course Cayman, he's always doing damage whenever he's in an event out west or anywhere else. So he's up in here, and it looks like we got two Chris's in the lobby somehow. I don't know what happened there, but we'll take it. We'll take both of them. We'll take both of them. But yeah, the season's off and running, man. Havasu, they ended up breaking 111 anglers over there. Good event for dipping their toe back in out west. I think Steve-O was happy with that.
Boy, I mean, that was a rowdy, like when most people were leaving to go pre-fish is when that big snowstorm was coming through. It looked like an adventure for most people to even get out there. And then I think they had some high wind conditions during practice too.
Yeah. I saw a picture Joe and somebody else posted. It looked like a forest fire. I thought they were just trolling with some sort of AI, but I guess was that really a controlled burn or something that was going on?
Yeah, no, I think that was a real picture, which is crazy enough in its own right.
Yeah, but I have I've heard of Havasu and know about Havasu, but never have paid attention to the fishing out there much. But seeing some of the pictures, it looked like a pretty cool place. Some wild, clear water, smallmouth getting caught, largemouth getting caught. What do you think of that?
I thought they just had spring break out there.
Yeah.
So I think we should have done it probably in the middle of spring break. Would have made for a more eventful tournament there.
Yeah, if we could like loop in, do Havasu, Lake of the Ozarks, just hit them during prime time. Might just run the numbers up on this thing. We might do all right.
Give you something to do to kill the time when you're not catching fish anyway.
Yeah. Day 2 about lunch. Give the old man something to do. Go people watch. Go people watch. But yeah, it was cool to see, man. I don't know what the goal was for attendance out there. I know you and I for years have talked about the West needs to show up if they're going to keep going out there. I think busting 100 is a good way to kind of say, hey, we're here for you. We can do it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's twice the numbers that showed up on that Delta tournament. So I think that's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and that wasn't in Cali. I mean, they had to make a little trip from Cali over to Havasu to do that. So there you go. But an Ohio boy flew out there. He didn't drive out there and took the title from the West Coast guys. So there you go. Drew got it done. I wish he'd come on and talked about it. My man said he was too tired and then ended up going on some other podcast. But hey, if you don't want to come on here, just be a man and say it. But congrats on the win. That's all right.
Dang. Oh, Jeff.
Yeah. I don't.
Jeff Mallet.
Yeah.
The hammer himself. Not Malott. Don't pronounce it wrong.
That's fine. That's fine. But congrats nonetheless. Salute to you. Shout out to the sponsors. We'll do that, and then we'll get the fellas on here and talk about what went down and what Havasu for them. Eco Fishing Shop. Nothing but good things to say about them. Eco Fishing puts on the Big Bass 250. They're big in the kayak community. And of course, ecofishingshop.com has every brand you can think of. They're literally dipped into every big brand. They got Bonafide now. It's all the motor rig outs, everything, you know.
And I saw they partnered with Moyak. Was that the announcement that I saw pop up?
That's right. And another one coming. They are also going to partner with NSKA, which is the club I founded here in Arkansas. So that's pretty cool. Go. So they're touching in the region and getting involved with those clubs, but doing big things with Moyak guys and NSKA. But Eco Fishing, appreciate them. So for all they do for kayak fishing, if you need something, just go to their website, get it ordered, drop it right at your house. Western Sun's been a supporter for years. We appreciate them. Vodka of choice for KBN Nation and ProGuide Lithium. You know, it's time. If you haven't started fishing yet because you're froze out, it's January and you're getting geared up, use one of these brands that support the show and support kayak fishing. Get with ProGuide and get all your electronics and motors fired up and powered up for the year. Hell, you may need some ProGuide batteries to power your house in the snowstorm. I don't know.
I know you better put something on a trickle charger with all this mess going on. I saw Pensacola. Barton posted some pictures. Pensacola's getting drilled with snow right now.
Yeah, I saw there was a little video like from a news station down there on Twitter. It looked like they got like 2 inches of snow down in Pensacola across the panhandle there. They don't
Louisiana got a bunch too. Our coworker in Louisiana, they had like 7 or 8 inches down there already.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Then we're doing a giveaway tonight. What's the giveaway tonight, my man?
And we're gonna do Seaguar. Since we have Chris on the show, hopefully he's not gonna win another giveaway. So I won't owe him anything else.
Yeah, so there you go. Seaguar giveaway. To do that, you know the drill. On Facebook, just share it, comment, and on YouTube, like the video, comment on the video, and then later on we'll give you a hashtag to throw in, and we'll draw the winner. But hey, let's get these gentlemen in here and talk about what happened way out west. Cayman, Chris, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Lake Havasu's in the books.
Chris pulled over responsibly. Chris was on the road earlier when he jumped in the green room, so we got to stop, taking a time out.
Chris is risking it all to come on here.
It's nice to be on this side, kind of. Hope I get him a giveaway though. Got to keep my streak going.
We're going to build you a mobile. We'll build you a mobile podcast room in there or something.
Maybe I go to if I'm in my house, I can do it because my garage is a shop. So it'd be nice to do it out of there pretty soon.
And I think, Cayman, when you were on before, did we have you on the mobile setup before too? Driving down the highway somewhere? Was that you that we did that with or no? Is that my cold medicine acting up?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Sorry, cut out for just a second. No. Yeah, I think I was. I was driving back from Texas.
Yeah, you were like in the desert somewhere, and we were trying to get you on. I remember that. That was pretty wild. So
yeah, I was in the middle of Wyoming.
Yeah, there we go. We do what we had to do. So where do you want to get started, Ryan? You said Chris had to get going, so we can get with him.
Yeah, first. let's start with Chris so he can get back to making some money. I don't want to hurt him too bad.
My man's on the road delivering important stuff.
Driving. That was
So Chris. How far was the drive for you?
It's about 4 hours from my house. It's not too bad.
That's not bad. You're probably one of the closer ones out there, then, I'd say.
Yeah, pretty much. Anybody in SoCal, we're about 4 hours away. Some of the guys that live in like Riverside, they can get there in like 3.5 hours. So it's not too far. It's closer to going to Clear Lake and stuff like that, I guess, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get down there to practice a lot, or have you fished Havasu before at all?
That was my first time fishing Havasu. Yeah. I got there. We got there Monday afternoon. Right when we came, because you come down the hill like off the 95, and then you come into the lake, and all I saw was white caps the whole time. And you know me, I'm a truck driver right here in California. I just came out from all those fires and the wind and everything blowing. So it's like I thought I was going to get a break, but it didn't happen until Thursday. Yeah, pretty much.
Did you get on the water? Did you get on the water in the white caps, or did you wait on to calm down a little bit for Tuesday?
No, we did. We got on. Me and my buddy Joel that drove from California. We went to Parker Dam, and we sat there for a little bit and waited for the wind to calm down. And then the wind was blowing. The water was about, I'd say, 2-foot rollers. And we're in this little tiny dock, and it was just slamming us at the end of and we just said, well, let's try it. And that was a big mistake, but we still got in the water. Didn't catch no fish, but we got back off safe. So, but it was okay. Yeah. Yeah.
What did you end up putting together as far as your tournament finish went? Obviously, you had a better practice than your first day. It sounds like.
Oh, I caught one fish on Thursday. I found this little spot. There's an opening up from the lake to the river mouth. I found these toolies that were like 3 feet out of water, and I caught one fish in there. So I said, that was on a worm, which I used, but then I got a bite on a mag draft, so I knew there was fish there. So I just left it and said, okay, I'm not even coming back up here. And Friday, I went to look for something else and really didn't find anything. But so I went back on Saturday, and sure enough, I caught 4 fish. I think I got the 4 fish in about I don't know. I'd say about an hour. I caught the 4 fish in the same spot, and then I figured that was gone. So I turned around, went back out, and started headed out to the deeper part of the lake. But most of that part that I was going through, it was only about 2 feet of water. 2 feet, 1 foot. I got stuck a couple times. Had to get the paddle and push out. And finally found deep water at about 27 feet. And found some trees out there, and sure enough, I threw the same MM3 fat straight tail and pulled that big one out, 21 3/4, I guess it was. Yeah.
There it is. She's looking pale.
That's solid.
Yes.
Yeah, that fish looks like it's a little chilly.
Yeah, they were cold. All of them were cold. All of them. But it was But then I was in 3rd place.
Yeah.
All day I'm like,
what changed there?
I went back to that same spot on the day 2, and the water had dropped about 1.5 foot. Now I'm fishing in like 1 foot of water, 1.5 foot of water, something like that. I caught one fish in that same spot, same stretch. Didn't get no bites on nothing else. So I ran around went back to that same tree to look for that big one, and nothing would bite over there. And then finally, I don't know, probably with about 2 hours left, I found another tree closer to the ramp, and I caught that other 20-incher right there. There was more there, but I just couldn't get them to bite. They just didn't want to. Once that one girl came out, they all kind of like scattered, disappeared. But
what like Ryan said, what happened on day 2? Did the conditions change for you, or was it just a matter of pressure on the same fish?
The drop, I think the drop of the water from the spots that I was looking at the water dropped overnight. It dropped another foot. So all the stuff that I was going to fish was dry. And then after that, I really didn't have too many other spots because like I said, I didn't catch nothing all week. I've been up and down that lake, 3 or 4 different ramps, didn't get any bites anywhere. So I figured, well, I was going to stay in that same area and didn't get nothing. The shad were like going crazy. They got big shad over there. They're like, man, what, 2-3 pounders? They were everywhere, but couldn't find nothing else. That was it. That was all I could get.
I mean, so what, like, is Havasu, like, talking to the locals and stuff, is there a good number of big fish in the lake, or like what were y'all kind of hearing out there as far as the quality of fish that people were catching?
A lot of the guys I heard, they were catching some of the good fish. I mean, most of the guys were catching the bigger fish, like up the smallmouth up the river. I mean, I tried up the river and I couldn't get nothing, but everybody else was catching on the lake, was catching a few of the bigger smalls, but nothing, 17, 18 inches and stuff like that. But they were like and then they're trying to get fish off the cages. And I guess some guys are saying they were deep in the mud, but I mean, I couldn't see them. I mean, I got my board on there. I didn't really see too many, but some guys had luck down there, better luck than I did. But not too many, though. It's really, people were getting skunked all week long, so it wasn't like it was.
I mean, 111 anglers over 2 days, 325 fish caught. That's tough.
Yeah. Like I said, we got there, and I stayed in the house with 5 guys. I think we had 5 fish by Thursday. That was it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was tough.
So from 80.
Cayman, how did your practice go? Did you get down early, or did you kind of slide in by the skin of your teeth there?
Hey, I got down early. I spent 6 days in practice. We drove down Saturday, started fishing Sunday. I saw pretty much the whole lake. I ran around all week. I was catching better fish in the lake than I caught up in the river. I ran up Sunday. It was blowing like 25 miles an hour with 40 miles an hour gusts, and so I just ran up the river to try and get out of the wind. And I caught a limit up there. I caught a limit most places. That first day really showed me kind of what the pattern was. But I mean, I was kind of surprised in tournament. Conditions changed, and it almost like my big fish went away because I was catching on average like a 16 to 17 incher, averaging probably 85, 86 inches in practice, and it just kind of didn't show up during the tournament. But
that's how practice goes, I think.
Right.
Oh man,
we've got a couple questions here. You guys, either one can take this. Cayman, since you just answered this last one, why don't you take this one as well? Describe for folks that are unfamiliar, over here in the east or southeast or wherever, that have heard of Havasu but don't understand, how was that lake as a fishery? Describe some of the water, plenty of ramps, easy access. How did that set up for you?
So there's several ramps down south. I mean, I think 3 or 4, and then the midsection of the lake, there's a couple on the California side, but it's a drive to get around to them. So there's kind of a midsection that's doesn't have a lot of ramps in it. The north side has a bunch of ramps, and kind of the same thing with the river. You can access the mouth or all the way up in Needles, but there's a long stretch that doesn't have a ramp in it. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's pretty spread out.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a lake in the middle of a desert. It's crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Chris, did this fish anything like any of your local water at home 4 hours away?
Well, for me, that's that little section that I fished. It felt like it. You see that? Go back down a little bit. You see like those 2 little islands? I was on that island. It's on the right, like here. If you go up a little bit more, right there, that's where I was catching my fish at. Basically,
this is what we need to do, Jeff. We need to Google Earth where people are fishing.
I'm gonna put it on here. Yeah.
There's a couple of ramps that are there, but they don't really have access for a trailer. If you want to drag your kayak down the dirt, you can do it. But
Is there a lot of public access out there? Or how does it work? Like, as far as pre-fishing goes, obviously in the tournament you have to use approved ramps, but is there a fair amount of public access?
yeah, if like I said, if you're going to drag your kayak into the water, you can. There's a few of them were like, I don't know, I'd say about 10 to 20 feet away from the water. And you got to take your kayak down a little grade, and sometimes in some places.
I was trying to put your spot on here.
But I launched at the state park, and it took me an hour to get almost to the spot. I got a trolling on the front, but it took me about an hour to get there to my spot.
Well, don't worry. Jeff is marking your spot on Google. That way nobody will mess with it anymore.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
There we go. Thanks for improving
You're
Google
done.
Maps. Right there's your spot, Chris.
Basically. Like I said, the water's way down, though. The water's like down like by about 10, 15 feet, I think it is. Something like that. So I can't wait till we go back in the springtime. It should be on fire.
It's a wild looking place. I thought I heard Drew on one of his lives or Instagram stories or something say he ran 3 hours up one of these rivers, perhaps. Did either of you make a big run like that anywhere?
Not me.
Yeah, it was Wednesday in practice. I ran about 4 miles down the lake, just so I didn't have to drive to the California side. It was like an hour and a half drive, but
yeah,
that's about as far as I ran one way.
Yeah, I knew where Drew. I guess he put in at this one ramp. It's called what? Topot. Topot.
Yeah.
It's right where the 40 crosses over the 95, right, basically right there. He ran north. I think there's one ramp. Pirate Cove is up there too. He might. I don't know if he went out there or not. But there was a river really not like that before. So I mean, that's like I wasn't very comfortable. So like, I just go back to the lake.
yeah. Colorado River. How about that?
Cayman, you said you went up in the river. I mean, how did that set up? I saw, some of Drew's pictures, and it looked like there was a lot of riprap and that kind of stuff in there, which to me, fishing the Tennessee River, that looks like a nice, smally looking spot there.
Yeah, it definitely is anyways. I pretty much fished from the mouth of the river about 3.5 miles up and then just came back down the other side. So I didn't make it as far up as Drew and some of the other guys were, but you saw all those tules that create pockets and whatnot. Anywhere that, for me anyways, anywhere that it got deeper because the river was so shallow, those pockets out of the current were key to get bites anyways. They seem to be stacking up in there. Or like tule breaks and that were blocking the current more than others. But
And Chris, you kind of alluded, you said you caught some on a worm. Were you mostly fishing slower presentations, or did you mix in some power fishing too? Did that mega bass, the mag draft bite, play during the tournament at all, or was that kind of a pre-fishing deal?
That was a pre-fish thing. I mean, I tried it, and I tried throwing the jig. I tried throwing spinner bait, chatterbait. What's a free rig? It just wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen for me. And just throwing that fat worm down there, drop shotting, and it just it pick up and take off. I mean, I had plenty of fish watch it come all the way down. They see it, they chase it down, and then they just stop and turn and go the other direction. But most of the time, that's what they're. That's I do that whole thing the whole time. Sunday, that's all I had in my hand. I had 3 rods tied up with 3 warbrow worms on there. No.
Were you scoping those fish using the drop shot?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of trees and cages out there that are in the water and stuff. So I found all mine sitting under trees and stuff. I did hook up into one. I went that same tree that I caught that big one on. I went back there and I threw one on there. He hooked into it, but then he wrapped himself around a branch or something like that and broke me off. And I was like, I didn't see any more big ones in there, and I scooted, went somewhere else and found another tree and caught another 20. So, but there's there's some big fish in that lake though. There's a matter of fact, somebody caught a state record there. What was it, Wednesday or Thursday? What, Wednesday or Thursday?
Like yeah.
What was
Yeah,
that?
we had a comment about it earlier up there.
Yeah.
Somewhere back through the old comment section.
Yeah,
Cayman, what was your approach? Were you fishing slow, dragging, or were you kind of power fishing more?
I was power fishing. I was making them react essentially. Reflecting back on it, I'd probably say I was junk fishing because that's how I just kept getting bites, running around until I get one to bite on something. I did find an area down south, anyways, down by the dam that had bait schooled up, and it was the only place that they were like in a pocket, anyways. So that was my main area. I did have another area they were kind of pushing up on throughout the day. But yeah, I ran a lot of main lake structure in practice and caught. That's where I was mainly catching fish on the main lake points or transition banks going into the coves and whatnot. And I'd pick one off here and there, throw a jerk bait, a chatterbait, a finesse jig, or like a 4-inch swim bait. But
what was the water clarity like? I mean, looking at the drone shots and stuff, it looked like there was a pretty fair amount of visibility in the water there itself.
Yeah, I know the river was way clearer than the lake. The lake was anywhere from about 4 or 5 foot visibility to 8 to 10 probably. It's usually more clear than that. Usually it's 15 to 20 foot clear from my last experience there.
Really? Chris, did you have that kind of same deal up there? You were right at the mouth of the river, right? So were you getting more of that clear water?
It was clear because most of the water up there was only like under 3 feet, so it was pretty much the whole time.
So you had all the visibility.
Yeah, it's like some of those pockets that are on the edges on the California side were pretty deep, but they were cloudy a little bit, I guess. Maybe 2 foot visibility.
And Jeff, see if you can find that picture of that controlled burn in the background there. It looked like we saw, on social media, some people were posting some fairly sporty looking fire pictures right on the water's edge there. Did y'all see any of that?
Yeah, I saw them I saw the smoke. It was just like the same fires over here in California. It was pretty crazy. But
Cayman, did you roll up on some of it?
No, I went down to that area the next day and it smelled like a campfire the whole day. But
yeah, golly.
I thought that was fake when I thought that was like AI stuff, but little did I know.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
That's crazy. So they had a snowstorm on the way out there, wildfires when they got there.
Tough bite.
Yeah.
30-mile-an-hour winds. Looks like a pretty solid way to kick off the season.
Yeah, a lot happening.
Cayman, we went through Chris's day 1 and 2. He kind of took us through what happened there. Take us through yours, because I know, especially on day 2, if I saw the poster, you had some late day heroics on day 2 as well to climb to that top spot. But take us through day 1 and then day 2 and how that went for you.
Yeah. So day 1, I went back to the same area. I found a bunch of bait, schooled up, and it was kind of just the most concentrated area that I was catching fish. So I felt like I could just work it more efficiently. It was down south, down by the dam anyways. And I think that bait was getting sucked into there because that is also, there's a pump house there that flows out and the police pumps water into some part of Arizona anyways. It's a whole bunch of bluff walls, 45-degree banks, just a bunch of rock essentially. But yeah, I just ran it, junk fished the whole day, rotating. I'd throw 10 casts with a jerk bait, 10 casts with a swim bait, and just kind of rotated all day to figure out what the next fish was going to bite, because it almost seemed like every fish wanted something different. Though at 3.8 Kitech did catch most of my fish anyways, jerk bait being second, couple on a jig, couple on a chatterbait anyways. But day 1, it was good. I had a limit by, I think, 11 and just started picking off fish here and there. I think I had 12 fish. It was a pretty good day. I mean, considering how everything was going. just ran the pattern, jumped across the lake to a secondary spot and caught a couple over there, and just took everything I could get. But sitting pretty good after that, was in fifth. Same plan to going into day two, but it was a lot tougher. There wasn't hardly any wind. It calmed down, and it was colder in the morning, kind of that post-frontal conditions, and it really shut the bite off. I had 4 fish by 11, but then I didn't get another bite until the last 30 minutes. I ran back to that area, and I was like, okay, I'm like, it's either going to happen here. I know there's fish here. We're just going to stick it out for the last hour and a half or so and see if we can't get another fish. And I caught that 17 and a half with 301 and caught another upgrade, a 15 3/4 to call out a 12 3/4 about 10 minutes later. And that was all she wrote. I mean,
Could you tell a big difference, where Chris said the water dropped up where he was at? I assume it probably wasn't that noticeable down on the south end, or could you tell, was there more current or anything down there from them dropping the water?
It seemed, I don't know if it was just calm weather or whatnot. I couldn't notice the water drop. It almost seemed more stagnant to a point, which would make sense if they were pulling water out and then they pulled more water out of the dam. It would almost backflow out of that area. So it could have changed a bit there as well. And
It's tough.
yeah.
Two questions. One, has anyone brought any legal action that the 217 and a half are the same fish?
No, they have to do that a month later, Jeff.
Okay, rules. My bad. And second question, how do you mentally, late in the day, I've been there before, we've all been there before, you're sitting on 3 or 4 fish, especially when you're in contention like this, right? That mental, your mind can start playing tricks on you and try to make you deviate from what you're trying to do, right? Oh, maybe I should just run over here, Hail Mary for 15 minutes. How do you stay mentally tough in that last 30 minutes, hour, trying to get that last bite?
Oh yeah, I talked myself out of running to a whole different part of the lake that I had only caught a couple small fish in, just to see if I could go get a limit. That would have probably been about a 30-minute run. But to know, I know where some fish are. I've caught more fish in that primary area of the lake than anywhere else. So ran back over there, and it was, I caught myself fishing too fast so many times. Just had to keep telling myself, no, slow down. You'll run into them, just keep beating it, and you'll catch them eventually. And it paid off. It worked out.
What's next? What's next on y'all's tournament list? Looking at this literal nationwide Bassmaster schedule, are either of you going to try to pick up another Bassmaster event or two? You got anything earmarked?
Not for me. I'm gonna try to go through. Not saying no, but I got to go through the Arizona Bass Nation. Maybe I can get through there and do that. They got some nice lakes over there we can hit up, I believe. I know. I guess I don't know. What is it? 10 killer. That's the next one. That's the next closest one for me, I believe.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
I haven't really thought about being in 10th place. I mean, I'm thinking about the big bass. That's it. Big bass. But I'm like in 10th place. That's not too bad a place to be in, I guess.
No, that's solid points. Yeah. Solid points.
Doesn't that right? What's an auto qualify? Top 5? Top 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was top 5.
Okay. We got a few questions in the comments saved here. Let's run through these for y'all. Cayman, Top Shelf over on YouTube. What's up, Top Shelf? Dang Cayman, are you going all the way to Florida next week too? Kissimmee?
I was planning on it, but I am canceling that trip because I'm having transmission issues with my truck. So I won't be making that one, even though I'd like to.
Yeah. Well, you're auto qualified now. You're good. You're good.
Yeah. You're safe now.
Yeah. This was another one for you from Dominic on YouTube. How are you able to be successful every tournament you fish out of your state, Cayman? Clear Lake, Havasu, and every time I've ever seen you leave the borders of where you're from, you seem to have success. So what's your secret there, man? Can you give it up?
Well, I mean, most of it's probably mental. I mean, I wrote a couple things down a couple years ago, I think now, and just left them in my notes, fishing goals or whatever you want to call it. Those essentially just give myself options, because everything changes every day. Don't get stuck on one thing. Let's see, I could probably pull it up here. I don't remember the last couple off the top of my head.
I like that. You got like a little psych yourself up list.
Book of secrets.
Pretty much.
Mine's like, get to the ramp almost on time. Don't lose everything.
Yeah, I like that.
Remember where your truck keys are.
Well, that's probably a good way to check yourself, get yourself back in line. Look at those reminders and say, hey, stick to the plan. I like that. I see Marty Hughes in the comments. What's up, Marty? Kenny Hood says,
start hiding sticky notes like in my tackle boxes and stuff. That way I forget about them, and then it just pops open. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I should be doing. Fishing.
Throw the Ned.
I don't know where it went. I think I deleted it. But
well, it's all right.
Great. So much for the goals. Yeah.
I know.
I wonder you canceled kissing me. Damn.
Yeah, one of them was probably check transmission fluid.
Yeah, it should have been at least.
Oh man.
I know at least another one was trust yourself.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, excluding myself, and say, oh, I got to be going doing this or doing that, when you just kind of let the fish tell you what you're doing. If you're not getting bites, just change something, try it.
There you go. I like that.
But yeah, I mean, you got to know and understand what bass want to do at different times of year, and that's your starting point. And just learned with experience, almost even being on the water a bunch, and it helps anyways.
Yeah.
Knowing what to look for.
This is from Dominic over on YouTube. Chris, is your wife getting the money for big bass, or is it going straight back to fishing?
Straight back to fishing.
Does she even know you got any money?
Yeah, I got to buy some. Her grandson selling some football squares, so I got to buy one of those. Should get my $20 for that. That'll be good enough.
That's good. That's a good
fair.
ball. I like that. Another question from YouTube. Charlie Anders Fishing over on YouTube. How do y'all like to practice fish for tournaments? Do you like long practice, short practice? Either one of you take that to start.
Well, it was a vacation for me, so I like the long practice. It was pretty good. It was pretty cool.
For me, it almost depends on the event. This one I wanted some more practice because I knew it was going to be tough. I didn't know the lake that well. I fished it once in 23, but it was a bed fishing tournament, so I just ran around looking for beds the whole time. Right. I didn't really know where these fish were going to set up, besides just a general idea of by the book anyways, and just really wanted to figure it out, try a little bit of everything. But I'd say typically about 2-3 days of practice is my sweet spot anyways.
There we go. Good stuff. One last question from over on YouTube. Dominic, would you say you guys like competing during a tough day or when the bite is wide open? So you like a grinder like this, Cayman?
I do, because anything can happen, and it just leaves the table open for, if you can catch fish, you usually at the top somewhere.
Yeah. Chris, what about you, man?
I was in a house with 5 other guys, and they were talking about what they're going to throw and what they're going to use and stuff. And I don't want to say a drop shot is my confidence bait, but I mean, it worked for me. They kept always telling me, just, use what you know, use what's catching the fish for you. Don't try to deviate too much from it. And obviously, it worked out. It didn't work out as good as I wanted to on Sunday, but it did work for me, that pattern. So
yeah. Oh, you did great, man. I mean, looking at the list, I think only, I'm just doing a quick calculation looking at this. I think only the top 5 had limits both days. Only the top 5. That's crazy. I don't know if there's ever been a tournament like that. Has there been a tournament like that before, Ryan? With 100?
I don't know, man. We've had some rough tournaments. I look back, and what was that one? Eufaula, that Hobie Eufaula?
Yeah, that was rough.
In the spring. Oh my gosh, that was absolutely brutal. But those, again, like, those are the tournaments, though, where you catch a fish like Chris caught, and if you've put together 9 others, that one fish can do so much damage. shooting you up to the top. It's hard to argue with I don't like fishing the grinders. They suck to fish, but as far as like, momentum goes and you being able to make, 2 good casts and move 20 places, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah. Hey, let me tip my cap. Shout out to the people. I'm looking down here at the bottom of the list. I was trying to see how many people zeroed, and it looked like it was about 30. There were a fair amount of people that zeroed on day 1 and went out and grinded out themselves 1 fish on day 2. And the fact that you did that, being all the way out in on the out there at Lake Havasu, if that had been me, I'd have been halfway to Arkansas, wouldn't have went out for 1 fish on day 2. So shout out to you for the grind. Respect for the grind on day 2. All of you out there.
Yeah, we had a lot of California people. They were calling me and telling me, keep grinding. I go, where you at? Oh, we're in Barstow already. That's like hours out of there. So
yeah, you keep fishing. We're heading to the house. We'll call you when we get there.
Good luck.
You're doing great.
I had another grinder like a couple of years ago. We had an ABA tournament at this Lake Hodges down in Riverside, and I got second place with 2 fish, a 20 and a 12, and there was like 56. And I think 50 people skunked. So I'm doing pretty good when it comes to people skunk, and I do pretty good.
There you go. You like the grinders. That's what you're saying. You love the grinders. It's amazing.
Well, I can get here, dude. Gotta meet my friend up at drop this trailer off and swap and come back.
You get it, man. You get it. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, and congratulations.
Yeah, well done, Chris. Appreciate
you guys are awesome. I love listening to the show, and trust me, I've listened to Cayman too. I've seen him a couple of times, and I'm still picking up on all these guys' nuances and things like that. But you guys help out a bunch. But yeah, thanks a lot, man. It's been great.
All right, be safe, buddy.
All right, take care.
See ya.
Chris. He's a good one.
Gotta love Chris.
Appreciate Chris. My man's always in the comments, always mixing it up with us. He's won a few things, and now he's won big basses at Bassmaster event. So shout out to Chris. Let's see. Any more questions for Cayman while we have them? We're gonna wrap this thing pretty early tonight, so I can take some NyQuil and go to bed.
Gotta get Pawpaw back in the home.
Lord have mercy. It's not good, but yeah. So you're not making Kissimmee, Cayman. Are you looking to chase this AOY now that you got a good finish off the bat here?
Yeah, that was kind of the goal. Even just when I was putting the schedule together for the season, shooting for hopefully top 5, anyways, is my goal. But yeah, I'll do 10 killer next, or no, Dale Hollow next, 10 killer, and pretty much the rest of the season. Just miss Kissimmee, anyways.
All right.
Well, the way the weather's looking in Florida,
yeah,
Kissimmee may be another gut punch. We've seen this for 8 years now. They've done early tournaments in Florida, and I personally can't remember one that has not caught a cold front. I feel like every time we go to Florida early, it's the weather gods are like, yeah, watch this, 36 degrees. Like it's tough. And those Florida fish, man, they hate it more than anybody else does. They'll just quit eating for a few days.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the one time I went to Florida, there was cold front. So we brought the weather with us.
50 times I've went to Florida, there's a cold front. So
yeah,
I'm finally just subduing myself to not go to Florida.
Diggs said he thinks I'm on the western side of the same deep freeze. It is cold. It didn't snow up here. It snowed down in Florida and Tennessee, or Florida and Louisiana, but it's like 15 degrees here, so it's pretty cold.
Here's a good question. Any tips, do's and don'ts for someone wanting to get started in kayak tournament fishing?
Read the rules. That's a big one.
Yes.
See tons of, even just local clubs, they break the rules not knowing they're breaking the rules. Just get out and do it. You'll learn more showing up to the events, even if you don't catch a fish, and maybe do better in your next one or next year or however long it takes you anyways, fishing tournaments. I'd say that's what helped me learn faster, is just getting out and competing and trying to learn from what I'm seeing.
Yeah. And Raymond, listen, don't get caught up in the arms race right off the jump you'll end up with too much stuff eventually, but don't do that at the beginning. Don't do that at the beginning, man. Ease into it. Go out there with your confidence rods, confidence baits, maybe a graph, but don't feel pressure to have 15 screens and motors and everything else.
And talk to people. Talk to strangers, talk to people on the water, talk to people at the ramp. You'll learn so much without ever even asking for anything. Just, people want, I mean, for the most part, people want to help people. And you see it all the time, whether it's loading their kayaks or pulling their trucks out of the ditch or, giving them a bait to go throw to catch a fish on. Like it's a pretty good community that we've got. So, that's my advice is just talk to folks, make friends, and you'll get a lot more enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, Marty with some good stuff. Don't tell your wife. I like that. Todd Martin says, don't submit the same fish in a derby. And J-Mac says,
whatever, Todd.
Just be a hole buzzard from J-Mac over on YouTube. We're talking about fishing now still, I hope. There you go. Yeah, J-Mac, you're crazy over there. Good stuff. But if you're getting into it, man, hey, welcome to the party, Raymond.
It's fun. Don't let your head get in too deep with it, man. Just keep it fun. When it stops being fun, take a step back.
Yeah. Oh, Cynthia says, marry a woman who loves fishing. All right, Cynthia. Is that are you married? Are you shouting out Raymond, or what's going on? What's going on here? What's going on here?
We got to start a KBN after hours app, I guess.
Speed dating in the chat.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh boy. I'm
gonna get this show taken off the air.
If you're already married, do you need to just marry another woman that likes fishing, or how does that work? Sister wives?
Well, they were pretty close to Utah land out there. Just kidding with you, Cynthia. Just kidding. Don't tell I don't want anybody pulling up on me at the weigh-ins. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions for Cayman before we let him get out of here and do this giveaway? Well done, man. We're looking forward to seeing you on this chase this AOI, because obviously every time you get out and fish, you're a contender. So it'd be cool to see someone from out west take that title this year. No pressure.
I'm pretty sure we'll probably have you back on here again.
Yeah, maybe eventually. I hope so. Right?
Yeah.
Well, take care, man. Thanks for jumping on, and congrats on getting that blue trophy and punching your ticket to the championship already.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done, man. There we
go.
All
right, see you, bud.
Cayman Rasmussen, everybody. Literally one of the best anglers in the country. Every time I see that dude is in a tournament, he's somewhere either winning or in the top 10, top 5. He's one of those.
Very consistent. Very consistent.
He's one of them ones. So we're gonna do the Seaguar giveaway tonight. I got the hashtag of my favorite line. You can never go wrong.
Mine too. I have more gas station red label than I have anything.
Dude, I bought a couple like the 1,000-yard spools of the 15-pound red label, and I've used that stuff forever, and it never goes wrong. If it starts getting a little twist, man.
He gave me 2 of those giant drums of Tatsu, and I was like, man, I just use red label. Like, you can give this to somebody expensive, not me.
Chasing Gorditas on YouTube said he can't believe the state record was 11 pounds. I wanted to know. I didn't know what that was. So 11-pounder was caught, state record. There you go.
That's what I was wondering is, like, what is a big fish out there? Because, obviously there were some 20s, 21s mixed in. So you had some bigger largemouth in there. I wonder what a giant smallie is out there. If it's 20, 21, 22.
Those tiger stripes look like Tennessee smallmouth. Are those Tennessee strains out there?
I'll never know because I won't drive that far to fish it, player.
I figured you know
send
them.
me a scale or something. I don't know.
I figured you know them by their markings. Some suckers have those pretty tiger stripes like that,
Yeah, they didn't tweet me on that one, man.
Oh, lake record. Excuse me, Scott. What's the state record?
Okay.
Wonder what the state record is.
11.2 pounds.
Ah, I see.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I don't know.
There we go. A lot of people entering the giveaway, YouTube and Facebook. Appreciate y'all very much. We're going to give it another second or two and hit this giveaway.
Good. I'm ready to get some supper. I'm starving out here, boy.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Here we go. Who's getting slow rolled tonight? Chris isn't winning. We know that.
We know who's not. Yeah.
Tyler. Tyler's won before.
I was going to say, Tyler's a repeat offender here.
Cynthia almost won. She's about to give her husband some red label, but she got slow rolled. She got slow rolled tonight. Tyler P, man, I tried his last name before and jacked it all.
That's why I remember it so well.
Yeah,
Yep.
Tyler P. Getting those comments and or getting Ryan's DMs, sliding them DMs, and he'll hook you up with the Seaguar. There you go.
Folks, we appreciate it. I am going to venture out into the Arctic tundra and try to find me a pizza somewhere.
Good stuff. Good to be back, Ryan.
Third time, haven't got any yet. I'm going to send you a triple order, Tyler.
Jeez. Tyler P's going to just he keeps entering, though. Respect.
I like it. I like it. I'll just send him one of those big, like the power company rolls their cables up on.
Yeah, there you go.
Get him hooked up.
All right, y'all. See y'all next time.
Later.